I feel every off season there's a lot of question marks that go into every organization. I think for us, it's pretty well known where a lot of the contract statuses are of guys, and I think that was something we talked about as a group going into the year, that we knew the opportunity and how many chances do you really get when you have as good of a team as we had. The decision-making stuff for a lot of us as players now, with turning the page to taking care of yourself and making sure you're ready for next training camp in 4 months. So a lot of those questions will probably be more for Chevy and for Bones and where they're feeling the direction the team is to go. But and then for myself too, I was just really happy and proud of our group, proud to be a part of it, and I'm looking forward for next year.
I don't know if you wanted to reach that later.
You're right. That was great.
A number of guys have come in here already today and just talked about, you know, how blunt Rick was post game the other day, and maybe a feeling that some of that should have been kept internal as opposed to shared in the media. Where do both of you stand on, because he was brought in with the idea of kind of accountability, and Rick's always said he wouldn't say something in public that he hadn't already said behind closed doors. I guess, where do you guys stand on, maybe not just what happened the other night, but the accountability issue as a whole?
You know, it was happening after a game, and everyone's pretty fired up about it. I mean, it's a tough place to be after losing a series, and even go back, there's always question marks when your team doesn't win. And you always got to answer those questions when things don't go your way. If you lose on a playoff series, no matter what it is. Yeah, I think our group had a tremendous amount of pushback in the series. No, it wasn't our best game in Game 5. We know that. We would come back from 3 goals in a game at home where we could have just laid down, right? I think that there was, guys take a lot of pride about being here, about being a Jet, and understanding how special this time is every year, especially in Winnipeg. You see how the fans and the city really gets fired up for the playoffs, and it's awesome. It's a fun thing to be a part of, and that's more the thing that when I look at it, it's more frustrating for me is you look at how you want to give the city more. Obviously we want it, but we think the city needs it as well. So that's the difficult part at this point for where we're at.
Yeah, I sure think probably a lot of the other guys felt, and a lot of meetings go on behind closed doors, and we talked about our pushback as a team basically all year, and try not to let things snowball into, if you lose one game, try to stop it there and not have it roll into 2 or 3. And we know how the last quarter of the season went, and it wasn't the way we wanted to, but we were still battling to get into the playoffs. In itself, we felt like we were playing playoff hockey down the stretch, and it was, I think I said it after the game when we lost in Game 5, like I didn't feel like we just got absolutely outmatched in all the games. I mean, there's highs and lows in every series, and I think you see emotions after a loss. I mean, you're talking 15, 20 minutes after you've just lost the Stanley Cup final. So I think to be emotional is probably bang on.
Yeah, do you agree? I mean, it seems like some of the guys that have come here, most of them don't agree with what, like Rick's assessment of. I mean, if you read between the lines, he essentially said that you guys were a bit soft. I mean, that's kind of how it came across. Yeah. I'm sure you don't agree with that, but can you understand where that comes from him? Going back to the losing streak starting in January and that sort of thing. Like, is there something to take from that instead of just being maybe you kind of upset at what he said or whatever?
I think for myself and I think our team, I take a lot of pride in not being soft, and especially for our identity, as a team. I think when you talk to when we played, and you talk to a former teammate or someone you played with, and man, like, you guys in Winnipeg are hard to play against. You guys are big, you're physical. I think that was something that when we were trying to establish our identity this year and we were playing our best hockey, we were forechecking teams, using our size to our advantage. Doesn't necessarily mean fighting or going and hitting, but just being hard to play against, holding on to pucks. And you know, I'm sure with Rick's comments, like, you're frustrated, you're pissed off, you're mad. Like, that's the raw emotion of it. And you know, the last game of the series wasn't our best. We all know that. But overall, I don't know if to say that we're soft in that series, I think, you know, would be incorrect in my opinion.
As you